Many congratulations, European final.
Thank you, mate.
How was your day yesterday? Enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. We didn't get back till pretty late, fair to say. I didn't get in till about 4:30 in the morning. So quiet day yesterday, just sort of relaxed and recovered at home. I think the boys, some trained, who they didn't have to. We gave them the option, but some of the lads wanted to train, the ones who didn't play. And yeah, just a relaxing day.
Bit of a reflection as well.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think it is quite a significant achievement. You know, we've got ourselves to the European final, and it's hasn't been without its challenges for sure. It hasn't been a smooth run. That's well chronicled, but irrespective of all that, just to reach a final of a major tournament, hugely satisfying, but also, like I said after the game, really proud of the way this group has, found a way.
I said to you near the start of the season, 50 games in charge of this football club. Where do you see yourself in 100? Well, that 100 is going to be a European final.
Yeah, not bad. It would be, it'd be a nice little bow to that 100, and it's been a really full 100. It's fair to say I've experienced just about every emotion in it, and hopefully the one main emotion we're all after, a bit of joy, is at the end of it.
You really could write a book on this season, couldn't you? I mean, I know you've got a couple out already, but you really could have a book this season.
Well, I've only got one out, but yeah, look, it has been, in many respects, an extraordinary one in terms of the extremes of everything we've gone through. You kind of understand that on one end of the spectrum you've got sort of a disappointing league season, and at the other extreme you've got the possibility of a real significant day in the history of this club that's been going on for many years. So when you have those kind of, but I think at the same time it's extremes, but I think they're intertwined. I really do, and I think one, there's cause and effect there. I think one has had an effect on the other.
Obviously, there's 2 games before the final, Palace, Villa. I'm intrigued in terms of how you would make the changes. Obviously, your back four is so important. You've barely had that back four all season. Romero, Mickey. What's the plan in terms of, you don't want them? Are they going to get an entire rest, or do they need to play some games, minutes?
Yeah, no, it's a challenging one, but we've tried to sort of navigate that for the last sort of couple of months. I think particularly Mickey and Romero and Destiny to a certain extent, because they've missed a huge chunk of the season, and you always know when guys sort of come back, you've got to sort of really manage them, because in Romero's and Mickey's season as well, that they had a couple of setbacks after coming back, and we just didn't want to go down that path. We've changed our structures and our processes so that when they come back, we keep them back. We've done that really well, I think, the last 2 or 3 months, but part of that has just been managing their minutes. So it will be, sort of a balancing act. I think they need to get, obviously, some game time between now and then, where that happens. Look, unlikely tomorrow, because I think what we do know about sort of Thursday night, playing on an artificial takes a lot out of the players. It's fair to say they were sore. I remember when we played Tamworth, we, similarly, and we actually got a couple of injuries in the game straight after that, I think, because of the surface. So we've got to be really careful about sort of tomorrow's game. But, next Friday's a bit different. I think we're just going to sort of make decisions that we think ultimately we want to be in great condition come final of Europa. So we'll use that.
Yeah, so finally from me then, in terms of team, there's no fresh injuries, but you probably shape it up a bit.
Yeah, no, there's no. Everyone got through okay the other night. Half hopeful that we get Sonny some minutes tomorrow, so he'll be the only one that sort of can come back in.
Right.
Thanks, Mike.
Congratulations as well.
Thank you.
You're going to be the first Australian manager ever to manage in a European Cup final.
First Greek born as well, mate. I'm also Greek, so
yeah.
A couple of very proud of both those.
When you started managing back in the day in the 90s at South Melbourne, you ever thought this is the thing that can happen?
Mate, I wouldn't have thought of it 5 years ago when I was coaching in Japan. So it's I guess that's look, you kind of there will be a time when all the dust is settled where I will reflect on all these things. These unbelievable opportunities have been presented to me. I've been blessed. But no, there would never have been any sort of real reality in, and even the dreams I had of, one day leading out a major football club in a European final. So, like I said, I've been blessed with all the opportunities I've had in life, and with great support from my loved ones, and looking forward to the day.
You're going to face a manager this weekend who won this competition 3 years ago, Oliver Glasner. I did his press conference yesterday, and he said 10 years ago he was managing in the second division in Austria as well, and he was full of praise, full of compliments for you and the challenges you face as a manager. When you hear a colleague saying those kinds of words, they don't have. Sometimes they say, sometimes they don't have to say it. How does it make you feel?
Yeah, it's true. They don't have to. You're right, and we live in an industry which is particularly in our roles fairly cutthroat. But I think, to be fair, most of my sort of peers have been, very understanding, and I think they understand sort of what I've had, the challenges I've had this year as a manager and we've had as a football club. If you take away, the emotion of it, they just look at it probably from their standpoint. And I said that we've had extremes this year, but I think one has almost caused the other. Our fantastic run, not just in the Europa, but also in the Carabao Cup, has cost us in the league. But also the troubles we've had in the league has built a resilience in this group to be able to do what we're in now. So, but I think Oliver's done a brilliant job at Palace as well. And I followed his journey. Like you said, I always like managers that kind of start from the bottom rung, so to speak, and work their way up, because there's a little bit more in them than just about football knowledge. There's there's some real determination to kind of get to the top, and I'm always got great respect for any manager that even reaches this level, because not many get the opportunity to do so.
It's a London derby this weekend, and Palace got a final as well at Wembley. In terms of your preparation, which Palace team you expect, because they might do plenty of rotations as well.
Hard to say, but I think since Oliver's got there, they're not going to change the way they play, so that's the constant. And you kind of know that they like to be really aggressive, without the ball, and they've got some real dangerous players, and I think with the cup final being next week, you'll probably want to use this as preparation for meeting City. So we're expecting a tough game, and from our perspective, look, last week against West Ham, whilst it wasn't the greatest of games, at least we kind of showed some real determination to make sure we didn't lose the game of football. And I thought for the most part we stuck to task really well, and we need to try and replicate that tomorrow, and particularly at home, because I think our supporters will still be sort of buzzing from the other night, and we don't want to sort of let them down. So I'm sure the boys will put in a good one tomorrow.
Hi, Ange. Yves Bissouma mentioned after the game that he thought all the players would be singing on the way back, and he said even the chairman probably would as well. Just wondering if yourself and the chairman belted out a few tunes.
Yeah, he's a different cat, Yves. Fair to say. I love him though, because he's had his own sort of issues this year, and I spoke to him about a month ago, and he kind of was in and out of the team, and but I just had a feeling in my gut. I said, Biss, we're going to need you at the most crucial time, mate, and I don't know when that's going to be, but we're going to need you, and if we get the best Biss, we can do something special. And he's delivered, and through that time he never sort of got his head down, complained, and he knew he could be doing better, and he wanted to push on. And so he's really proud of him and the way he's kind of handled everything this year. But no, there's no belting of tunes. Fair to say, me and the chairman probably got different playlists, mate, so I don't see him banging away to AC/DC. So.
60 games it will be this season, 19 more than last. I think you're in the middle of 5 press conferences in 6 days. How do you juggle it all?
5 press conferences. And that's what I was saying before, I know people are trying to separate the two in terms of, but there is cause and effect there, We've had a ridiculous injury-riddled season, coupled by the fact that we've done really well in 2 competitions, which is, like I said, 60 games. So it has felt, and certainly for me personally, it's felt like a really, really long season, but you just get energy, you realise what happened the other night, and you're so close to achieving something special that it all kind of sort of dissipates in the background, and you kind of get the energy you need to make sure. As I said, even in my career, I've been fortunate to have a fair bit of success, but I know that the key to that is that when the opportunities come along, you take them, because you just don't know when they're going to come around again. And the opportunity we have, that's all you need to keep your energy levels up. Not just for me, I think the staff, the players, everyone's feel the same way.
Sometimes young players heal a little bit quicker. I just wondered, is there any chance that Lucas Bergvall might be able to, or might be aiming to try to push himself for that final? Is there any way?
Yeah, no, that's unlikely. It's just, I mean, if we had another sort of 2 weeks, potentially he could. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be trying. I'm sure Matters will be trying, mate. Just to get the strip on. But look, unfortunate for both those guys, but as I said, we've just, that's been our season. Nothing's run smooth, and I'm sure they'll be, part of themselves. They'll be really disappointed that they're not part of this most important part, but they've been so integral to us getting here. I think there's any player, as I mentioned after the game, any player in our dressing room who hasn't contributed to where we are today, and should we have the success, we'll make sure that they get acknowledged in the right way.
Last one for me. Dominic Solanke said after the game that that's why he moved to Spurs nights like Thursday night. I mean, how important is it a player like that who's worked so hard gets his rewards with nights like that?
Yeah, it is, but it's also important for the club as well, that because guys like that are really hungry for success, and we keep saying that we need to change the culture of the club, and how do you become a winning club, and all those kind of things. I think it's players like that who, again, another player who's kind of worked his way to getting here. Nothing's been given to him. He's had to earn everything, that he appreciates what he's got. And if you can bring success at a time where guys like that are at your football club, then they're the ones that keep driving it in the future, because, like I said, they want more nights like Thursday night. They want to win trophies. That's why they came to the club. And if they do manage to do that, then, whoever next walks in the door, they've got a real clear reference point, an example of what you need to do to be successful. And so, it's great for Dom to have that night, but it's just important for the club that guys like Dom and others in that group, because they're part of the future here, feel that success as well.